You walk into a supermarket for one thing: milk. That is it. One item, a clean mission, a pure mission, the kind of mission a monk would respect. And then, 20 minutes later, your cart contains milk, cereal, avocados, a suspiciously confident jar of sauce, 2 limited edition snacks, a candle that smells like financial regret, and a tiny cake that somehow looked lonely. So what happened? Did your brain fall out somewhere between the bananas and the frozen peas? No. Your brain is still there mostly. The problem is that a supermarket is not just a building with food in it. That would be adorable. A supermarket is a decision gymnasium where your brain is politely tackled by fruit, lighting, music shelf placement, fake urgency, and chocolate bars standing at checkout like tiny edible lawyers. The supermarket does not need to hypnotize you. It just needs to make the slightly more expensive choice feel like your idea, and that begins at the entrance. Many supermarkets greet you with bright produce, flowers, bakery smells, soft lighting, and vegetables so fresh the lettuce looks like it has a skincare routine. This is atmosphere. Your brain sees shiny apples, fresh bread, maybe mist over the produce, because apparently spinach needs a dramatic entrance. The message is, welcome. This place is fresh. You are a healthy person now. Please celebrate with cookies later. Researchers who study supermarket layouts and atmospheric elements have found that store environments can shape emotional reactions. And those reactions can influence impulse buying. So yes, the supermarket is adjusting the emotional thermostat of your wallet. Once you feel good, you slow down, you browse, you become open-minded. Dangerously open-minded. That is how a person with a normal shopping list becomes a person considering truffle hummus. Next comes the pilgrimage. Staples like milk, eggs, and bread are often placed far from the entrance. Not because milk is shy, because if you came in for milk, the supermarket would very much enjoy you walking past everything else first. Every extra step is another chance to notice a sale sign, a cookie tower, or a seasonal aisle answering the ancient human question: what if a pumpkin had a marketing department? Retailers think carefully about how shoppers move, where categories sit, and how to balance convenience with impulse buying. Translation: comfortable enough to stay, not efficient enough to escape. It is a maze with better lighting and worse consequences. Now look at the shelves. There is an old retail saying, eye level is buy level. Products placed directly in your line of sight are not necessarily the best value. They are often the products the store or brand most wants your eyeballs to emotionally marry. Cheaper options may be above or below. Kids' products may sit lower, where a small person can begin a hostage negotiation in aisle 4. Your brain is not lazy, it is efficient. It likes the option that is easiest to see, easiest to grab, and easiest to justify. Shelf placement turns convenience into persuasion. But supermarkets do not stop with your eyes. That would show restraint. They also use sound. In a classic 1982 supermarket study, marketing researcher Ronald Milliman found that background music tempo affected how fast shoppers moved and affected sales volume. Slower music can slow people down. Slower shoppers see more products. More products means more chances to think, maybe we are a fancy cracker family now. So the music is not just background. It is part of the shopping path. You think you're choosing pasta. Meanwhile, the ceiling speakers are gently saying, take your time. Your list was a suggestion. Then come the smells. The bakery smell near the entrance is not just there because bread exists and wants applause. Smell is tied strongly to memory, comfort, and appetite. Fresh bread can make dinner feel like it needs a baguette the size of a canoe. Your brain was built to notice energy-rich foods, novelty, and easy rewards. Helpful in the wild, less helpful when the wild is aisle 9 and the predator is cinnamon rolls. A supermarket is basically a museum of edible opportunities, except every exhibit has a barcode. Now, the deals. Buy one, get one free, 3 for $5. Limited time, family size, club price. a small yellow label screaming like it just discovered capitalism. Your rational brain asks, do we actually need this? Your deal brain replies, need is such a small word. Promotions change the emotional frame. You stop asking, was I going to buy this? And start asking, am I a fool if I do not seize this historic cheese opportunity? A deal can make spending feel like saving, even when buying nothing would have saved the most money. Very rude of math. Impulse buying research shows that emotionally appealing products, especially snacks and treats, can be especially powerful, not shocking. Nobody loses control in front of emergency plain oatmeal. End caps, the displays at the ends of aisles, catch you when you're turning, slowing, or scanning. They feel like the product has been chosen by destiny and a regional sales manager. But an end cap does not automatically mean a better price. Sometimes it just means the product paid rent for your attention. And attention is the whole game. Because halfway through the trip, your brain begins to weaken. At the start, you are powerful. You have a list. You compare unit prices. But after 20 minutes, you have made dozens of tiny decisions. Which apples? Which yogurt? Why are there 12 kinds of peanut butter? Why does oat milk have a more complicated identity than most fictional characters? This is decision fatigue. When careful thinking gets tired, shortcuts get stronger. Bright label? Fine. Familiar brand? Fine. Snack near the register? Fine. Tiny cake with abandonment issues? Fine. Just let me leave this fluorescent kingdom. And that is when the checkout lane appears. The checkout is not the end of the shopping trip. The checkout is the final boss wearing a candy necklace. You are waiting. You are bored. You are tired. Beside your small, emotionally tempting items with tiny prices that somehow add up like they went to business school. Research on grocery checkout temptation has found that more time spent waiting in line can increase the probability of buying tempting items nearby. In other words, the longer you stand next to the candy, the more the candy develops a legal case. Your Honor, my client was delicious and within arm's reach. And here's a strange twist. Self-checkout may sometimes reduce attention to those temptation goods because your brain is busy scanning items. Newer research suggests occupied shoppers may pay less attention to nearby impulse products. So apparently the cure for candy temptation is unpaid labor. But that reveals the real secret. Supermarkets do not rely on one huge trick. They use a chain of small nudges. The entrance makes you feel virtuous. The layout makes you travel. The shelves guide your eyes. The music slows your feet. The smells wake up appetite. The deals turn spending into sport. The checkout attacks when your self-control is lying on the floor asking for a chair. None of this forces you to buy anything. There is no employee in a cloak chanting over the avocados. But each design choice changes the odds a little. And if the supermarket can shift one decision, just one, from not today to while I'm here, the system works. So how do you fight back without becoming the person who wears night vision goggles to buy bananas? Use boring weapons. Make a list. Eat before shopping. Use a basket for small trips because a giant empty cart has the emotional energy of a disappointed swimming pool. Look above and below eye level. Check unit prices. Be suspicious of deals that require buying more than you planned. And when you reach checkout, remember that Candy Bar has been training for this moment. The point is not that supermarkets are evil. They are businesses, and businesses design environments to sell. The point is that your brain is human. It responds to color, smell, music, convenience, urgency, comfort, novelty, and tiny rewards. Once you see the system, the spell gets weaker. So the next time you walk in for milk and your cart starts mysteriously collecting cookies, do not panic. Just look around. The supermarket is not only selling groceries, it is selling decisions. And now your brain knows where the trapdoors are. And now your brain knows where the trapdoors are. And now your brain knows where the trapdoors are. And now your brain knows where the trapdoors are. Tap the notification bell and leave a like.